So the one thing I noticed about this episode is that it always thunderstorms around Wayne Manor. If you don't believe me, watch the episode yourself. So everybody, I am David, and today I am going to be talking about Gotham, episode 17, Red Hood. And as you might suspect, there is a couple of people that take on the mantle of the Red Hood. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Red Hood in the comics has been various people, most notably the Joker. The Joker was one of the members behind the Red Hood, as well as Jason Todd, who becomes the Red Hood during a time when Jason Todd was believed to be dead. Jason Todd was one of the Robins in the comics and took on the mantle to kind of like poke back at the Joker, I guess, because the Joker was the one that killed Jason Todd in the comics. Now, taking away some of that history from the comics, let's get into this episode. What did I think of it? Did I enjoy it? First of all, I want to say, yes, there were a couple of red herrings in this episode for the Joker. And this was the little assignment that Gordon and Bullock was on. They were trying to discover who this Red Hood gang was, and they figured out clues, which, in my opinion, was actually some of the weakest parts about the episode. Specifically, the people who they got two people who they were kind of hinting that could be the Joker, because they had this maniacal laugh. You know, they were going a little schizo. They're a little bit crazy, over the top with the laugh, and I thought during some of those moments it was a little cheesy in my opinion. You know, I didn't buy into the fact that they were, and what's even more funny is that they killed both of them in the same episode. None of them stayed alive, because at the very end we see this kid pick up the Red Hood and he puts it on. Could he be the Joker? Who the hell knows? And I hope not, because I think we're going to get a few more red herrings for the Joker, but we'll see. We also got Barbara back in this episode, and she is hanging out with Selina and Poison Ivy. Who the hell knows why? And she's putting on some creepy vibes now, because she's like hitting on Selina a little bit, which seemed weird to me. And the only good thing to come out of it is that she gives Selina the idea that one day she can use her looks to her advantage, and that will obviously give her that advantage when she grows up, when she becomes Catwoman and uses that on her sexuality on Batman. But that's far down the road, so I'm sure Selina would have figured that out on her own. But anyways, I love the little comeback Selina throws back at Barbara, saying, yeah, well, it hasn't been working for you. I thought that was pretty funny, I gotta admit. I laughed when Selina threw that back at her. It's like, yeah, even this little kid is making you look bad. It's like the writers know that this character is horrible. I feel like Barbara should be a villain in this, like, entire... I hope she turns out to be like Harley Quinn or something. Maybe she's the Joker, and, you know, she goes crazy in one episode and decides to put on white makeup. That would be an interesting twist if Barbara became the Joker. I'll for this show, I'll accept that. We also got to see a little bit of the Penguin in this episode. He didn't have a big role in this one, but he had some issues going on with Butch at first, because he was losing alcohol, and actually it wasn't problems. He was actually getting along with Butch, or Butch was getting along with the Penguin. Penguin wasn't sure what the hell was going on, but Butch helped the Penguin get some alcohol from Maroni's side of the territory, and Penguin still wasn't too sure. So while they were drinking, he tests him and says, hey, why don't we make a little toast to Fish, because, you know, I kind of miss her. And Butch says, nope, she got what she deserved, and that's it. He drank, and that was the end of that. speaking of fish, she looks like she's having a little bit of difficulties meeting this doctor guy, and I didn't know what the hell was going on at first. It seemed like nothing interesting because she was asked to go take a shower. She came back all nice looking and stuff. And then the craziest part is when she just grabs a spoon and gouges her eye out. And I'm just like thinking, what the fuck? It was like the most insane thing I've seen a character do on this show. Like, the people on Gotham are messed up individuals, and that just shows Fish Mooney. And moving on, we also get to see Bruce Wayne and Alfred getting an uninvited guest from one of Alfred's old friends from, I guess, his war days. And they kind of hint at Alfred's war days a little bit in this episode. And Alfred's has a lot of skeletons in his closet, and who knows what the hell he's hiding, but clearly he doesn't want Bruce to know about his past. And his friend is kind of, getting Bruce all riled up and, trying to train him a few moves. And I'm like thinking, who is this guy? And at first I'm not even sure myself. And then things seem to be going okay, I guess, right? Until Alfred finally tells him to leave. And on the night that he's supposed to be leaving, Alfred sees that this guy is stealing from Wayne Manor. And so what happens? This guy just stabs Alfred, and I'm like thinking, did that just happen? And I was like completely confused, not knowing what the hell was going on, and that was insane. So then Alfred is now in the hospital. Bruce is there crying. Gordon rushes there and, tries to comfort Bruce. And then we see the guy that stabbed Alfred's friend, or ex-friend, I guess, is now at Wayne Enterprises at the board meeting with the board members of Wayne Enterprises. And one of the most interesting things comes out. Not only is he working for them, but we find out his last name. I believe his last name was Bane. So I forgot his first name. It was Reggie, I think. Reggie Bane. So yeah, everything that was happening at the end was just, what the hell? Everything one after the other. It was just so much to consume in this episode. It was pretty cool, I'm gonna admit that. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed the Alfred and Bruce stuff that was going on, despite it like only thunderstorming around that area of Gotham. Like, of all the areas of Gotham, it was only thunderstorming at Wayne Manor. Okay. The Gordon stuff was pretty cool. I just didn't buy into the whole Red Hood, especially the people that they were trying to make us think that they were the Joker and then just killed them off just like that. It's like, oh, so you're not even gonna let us guess now that these people might be the Joker, because they all of a sudden become crazy once they put on that mask. Is that the first guy? The first guy seemed to be crazy even before he put on the Red Hood. That now this kid has the Red Hood, and I don't even want to know if that kid's coming back or not. The Barbara stuff was stupid, as usual. I don't, unless she is the Joker down the road. I think all this Barbara crap is just a waste of time, and she should just be written off the show somehow. I feel like the only useful thing to come out of her in this episode was to give Selina little tips for her future. And was anybody really surprised that Poison Ivy picked the green shirt? I saw the green shirt out there, and I'm like thinking to myself, Ivy's gonna pick the green shirt, and she did, and I'm like, oh god. So yeah, the really cool stuff in the episode, I thought the Penguin stuff was alright. I thought, yeah, okay, he's making amends with Butch, I guess. That's pretty cool. But the best stuff about the episode was the Alfred and Bruce moments, so that I really enjoyed in this episode. And to me, that was really the stress, especially the end there when Alfred got stabbed, and you feel Bruce's sadness in the hospital, and when Gordon comforts him. All that stuff was, and then obviously the Bane reveal, that was pretty damn cool. So I believe next week is the last episode for a while. I'm not sure, but this almost feels like it's leading up to a season finale. So I don't know how many episodes Gotham has left for the season, but I know right now, currently, there's one more episode listed. I don't think it's the finale, but I don't know. So I guess we'll see next week what's going to happen, if there's a few more episodes that we're getting or not. Okay, so until next time, take care.